Hello, everyone. I am very excited to be kicking off the webinar today. We are going to be discussing the future of agentless experiences, assurance of chatbots and AI-led agents. I am joined by two industry experts from Cyara, Raj Gupta, Chief Technology Officer, and Christoph Berner, Senior Director of Product. Raj and Christoph are going to kick off with some high-level insights, and we will then dive into a fireside chat. So very excited to be joining you both. I will hand things off to you to introduce yourselves and start us off.
Excellent. Brooke, it is my pleasure to be on this webinar with you and my colleague, Christoph. As you mentioned, my name is Raj Gupta, and I'm the Chief Technology Officer for Cyara. As part of my role, I am responsible for leading our product management and engineering organizations, setting our product vision strategy, managing a global team of very accomplished senior product and R&D engineers, as well as managers, who ensure we deliver industry-leading products in the customer experience space. My background includes working at large enterprises, large enterprise software companies, as well as at some very innovative technology startups. I'm based in San Francisco, Silicon Valley, and have had a chance to lead global organizations for many years. And as part of that, I have worked on a lot of different technologies and a lot of different technology stacks. The two that I will call out here are the adoption of cloud SaaS products and solutions, and also for the last several years in conversational AI space, particularly the use of conversation AI in contact centers to drive more efficiency, better outcomes, and overall better customer experiences. I'll pass the floor to Christoph, who is part of my product management organization and has an amazing background with dealing with bots and AI language models and much more. Christoph, over to you.
Thank you, Raj. Hi to everyone on this call. Great that you made it to this fireside chat. Thank you, Brooke, for having us. As you said, my name is Christoph Berner. I'm here, Senior Director Digital at Cyara, but maybe more interesting for today's conversation is that I am the former founder, or to be true, co-founder of a product called Otium. This product became part of the Cyara family back in 2022. And since then, I'm also in charge of it, of course. It's our conversational AI optimization, testing, and management platform here in the Cyara family. As Raj said already, we are the industry leader in the AI-led customer journey assurance. And as you can imagine, with all the things happening around large language models, the Gen AI capabilities, a lot of our efforts are driven into this direction. And therefore, I think we are the right ones to talk about this potential agentless future. Back to you, Raj.
Excellent. Thanks, Christoph. Brooke, I know we have a very interesting topic at hand. And what I would like to do is, if it's all right with you, just we have a handful of slides here that I want to present, sort of ground our conversation that will help the audience listening to this webinar get a better understanding of where Christoph and I are coming from. So let me just spend a few minutes going over that, and then we'll get into the meat of the topic, which is, I think, a very interesting topic, as I mentioned. A few key things. First of all, customer experience is critical to doing business in today's world. It impacts the entire scope of business outcomes. Let me start by sharing some very simple yet important numbers. Customer experience impacts churn. Over half of the customers will stop doing business with you after just one bad experience. It impacts revenue. 78% of customers have been so frustrated by bad customer experiences that they actually backed out of a purchase. On the positive side, when things do go right, 89% of customers will make another purchase, and it helps with repeat business. So certainly, a very important aspect of customer experience is how that experience actually unfolds for the end user. Let me give just a quick overview on Cyara for your audience who is listening into the webinar. And so they get at least somewhat familiar with what we do and how, like Christoph mentioned, we're grounded in this conversation for today. So Cyara is the only true end-to-end CX transformation platform, and CX I use interchangeably with customer experience, which is trusted by hundreds of world's leading brands. We are multi-channel, multimodal, and truly global. We support and ensure that over 225 million customer journeys every year are taking place without any issues with the help of our platform. And the validation of our product being one of the best is not just reflected in the large number of customers we have, but also by the many awards and accolades that our products have won that are listed here on this slide. As part of our end-to-end product lines, we revolutionize the way businesses transform and optimize their customer experiences. Only Cyara's AI-led CX transformation platform can assure your customer journey through all facets of the customer experience. We empower enterprises to drive CX transformation, to monitor and assure customer journeys, and to optimize the CX experiences across all self-service and agent-assisted channels, including voice, video, and conversation AI. On the transformation side, our Transform solution, which includes Velocity and Cruncher, it allows automated end-to-end functional and regression testing throughout the development cycle that can dramatically increase the speed of innovation. It also allows for automated performance and load testing at scale to assure the best CX experience during peak volume. Our Monitor solutions, which consists of Pulse, Voice Assure, Number Trust, and Resolve AX, they help in automated monitoring and optimization. They help end-to-end visibility, provide end-to-end visibility and root cause analysis, affecting all aspects of the CX journey from self-service to live agent interaction. Number Trust helps validate the outbound numbers and callback functionality and can effectively reach customers worldwide. It allows you to visually monitor how your customers are receiving your outbound calls. And then Resolve AX can discover and address agent environment issues in real time. Then we have our optimized part of our solution line, which is heavily reliant on Botium that Christoph mentioned earlier. It helps assures conversational AI bots through automated testing, managing and optimizing, and optimizing that. And then our solutions like Test RTC and Centra CX complete the end-to-end customer experience journey. Now that I've given a little bit of insight into what Cyara does and how we are helping hundreds of Fortune 100 customers, let's dive a little bit into the future of potentially agentless experience and a few thoughts on it, and then we can get into our meat of the webinar here. So, the AI revolution is certainly upon us with the technological advances in computing power, the availability of very large training data sets, and the transformer-based language models, whether it is LLMs or SLMs or MLMs. It is certainly going to be one, I think, heck of a ride over the next several years as the transformer technology-based language models and the multimodal, and as they are multimodal, they're generic, that they are easily starting to blur the lines between humans and machines. AI agents and chatbots based on LLMs can potentially, it seems like, already do jobs of therapists, of lawyers, of engineers, and potentially most of the customer service agents. So, LLMs have democratized intelligence. AI agents and bots based on LLMs, will, over time, be cheaper and faster than human agents in many cases. I can certainly imagine a future where the demand meets the supply when it comes to contact centers. Essentially, you have an elastic data center to serve the peaks in the demands as needed, and potentially no more queues, no more waiting, or at least close to it. I feel this will be, I think, an amazing thing for customers and enterprises and for customer experience. But we still have to deal with the issue of testing and scalability and quality of responses to avoid hallucinations and biases. And that is where Cyara comes in. So although bots and AI agents seem to be smarter than doctors, lawyers, and therapists, they still need to be trained and tested thoroughly for your domain, for your enterprise. A lot of enterprises are already using bots to suggest answers and supercharge their agents, but it doesn't take away the need to ensure the correctness of the responses, the end-to-end uptime and scalability of the system. Let me end by saying that any new technology, as we all know, will go through a set of phases. And in some cases, much faster. These phases may go much faster than the previous transformation. And Gen AI is rapidly going through those phases, and this technology is showing all the early signs that it could replace human agents, certainly in some cases, perhaps in many cases, and maybe in due course in most cases. So with that, Brooke, I will hand it back to you.
Thank you, Raj. I appreciate you sharing all of that. I'm very excited to dive into the topic today because I think it is such an interesting theme and such an interesting kind of time right now that we are in the customer service, customer experience space. So yeah, I want to kick off this discussion, starting with you, Raj, here, with just an overview of the agentless experience for people who may not understand exactly what that will look like. And then can you talk us through a potential reality in which this type of experience could actually exist?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that is a wonderful way to start this conversation. So the way I look at it is the agentless experience in my mind would look very human-like. And what I mean by that is that it won't be sort of pre-programmed. It would be capable of doing sophisticated reasoning, cross-channel, multimodal, 24/7, always on, intelligent and dynamic, and lower cost when deployed at scale. That is how I see this agentless experience unfolding, and when it gets really sort of enough advanced that it can essentially be pretty much human-like. So as far as talking us through what a potential reality in which this type of experience could exist, well, some of this is already starting to happen. There are companies, Klarna is one, which apparently, it's a company that sells like e-commerce sites, sells stuff online, and then you can potentially pay over time. But they have made heavy use of OpenAI to help provide agentless experiences, sort of any I feel area where you are using customer service agents and where at least your interaction with your clients and customers is based on fairly sort of standard question and answers. There is a relatively good set of data available that you can rely upon with the help of technologies like RAG, et cetera, that you can put into the AI prompts and be able to give very meaningful actual responses. That's where I see a lot of this coming to reality. There may be cases where some of this doesn't quite happen. For example, 911 calls, etc. You'd want a human to potentially answer that, but there are many, many, many cases where this potentially becomes a reality. Let me maybe pass it on this one to Christoph as well, and let's hear his thoughts as well. I think again his experiences are different than mine, and I'd be great to hear his input as well on this question.
Thanks, Raj. I'll try. So when I recall Brooke's question, how could an agentless experience look like in the potential future? Actually, this takes me back to the time when I was building the first chatbots more than 10 years ago. And the first bot I ever built was actually designed to assist human agents in the contact center for a major telecom provider. And at that time, the chatbot's primary function was to gather basic client information, so not providing agentless experiences. To give you an idea of things like the customer numbers and their master phone passwords before they were actually connected to a human agent. And this alone, back in the days, was a significant time and cost saver for the telecom provider, because customers usually didn't have their customer number or their password readily available, and therefore they would start searching during the call. And agent time is money. So and of course, only after this information was provided, they could move forward and then address the actual reason for the call. Stuff like, increasing the mobile data limit, for example, was a very typical case. And actually, that's a pretty complex one if we think about it for a second, because an agent must find the customer's plan somewhere in a CRM system or whatever, read through it, understand it, connect the dots to other contracts. Yeah? So you often have something like, my wife, my kids also have contracts with the same provider, so I get a family bonus, stuff like this. And only then the agent could present options for the client. And back in those days, and honestly, I think also today, such a call often leads to something like, please visit us in the next store, because we can barely handle this on the phone here. And if I take now the same example into the future, or an agentless future, as you asked for, I'm assuming here that an AI-powered bot will verify, first of all, a caller's phone number and use biometric information for secure authentication. So we are immediately getting rid of this. What's your customer number? What's your phone master password? And by the way, I think that's a ridiculous ask. I closed my mobile contract in 1997 or something, and since then didn't change. So I have no idea what the password was back in these days. And yeah, so the bot will then quickly review the customer's current mobile plan, present available upgrade options, all that stuff, including the context. As I mentioned before, there's maybe a family bonus, other discounts, special offers, and all that happens in just a second. If the customer decides then on a new plan, the bot will instantly send the updated contract, maybe on a different channel via SMS or whatever, as a PDF. You sign it, send it back on web, and that's it. Yeah? It takes seconds. Or alternatively, if the customer needs more time to make a decision, then simply the bot will maybe send a comparison overview or something like this. And the magic is then when the customer returns a few days later, the bot seamlessly picks up the conversation right where it left off. There's no need to repeat all that stuff. So if agentless contact centers, meaning chatbots or IVAs, deliver such an exceptional customer experience that I just tried to picture, including such a seamless multi-channel interaction, jumping from phone to SMS to web and back, deliver personalized, proactive service like, hey, we see your wife also has a contract with us, we give you a discount, and then maybe even add a bit of emotional intelligence. With Gen AI, we are also getting close to this, and being there 24/7, as Raj already mentioned. Then, from my point of view, the future of customer support is going to be truly agentless.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really exciting time, and hearing you both talk about the agentless experience is exciting because, as you mentioned, Christoph, if it is really truly seamless and intuitive, customers will be excited by the potential of an agentless experience. And Raj, as you mentioned, that human feeling experience will really support that transition as well. But I want to talk a little bit more about the customer's perspective, because at the moment it can be scary thinking about an agentless future. And we found from our latest CCW research that the number one customer pain point this year was not being able to reach a live person. So what does this challenge say about the future of the agentless experience? And do you believe that customers are ready for this level of support?
Yeah, let me take a crack at it, and again, would certainly want Christoph also to jump in on that one. Are customers ready for it? I will say that customers are potentially ready for it. Let's understand why they are generally reluctant to deal with just sort of machines, and why they want to talk to a live agent. And the reason for that simply is that as much as technology has advanced, and as much as our systems and products have gotten better at trying to anticipate the issues of the customers with the help of automated systems, they're not quite there. Whether it's IVR, whether it is potentially the use of some level of AI technologies in the past, or some bots, etc. They generally tend to be pre-programmed, or potentially follow a certain path in a certain direction, and when it's not really necessarily answering the customer's question, the customers get frustrated. So are customers ready? I feel the customers are ready if this experience for them can be human-like, it can be seamless, and it can be done in a way that it actually helps really answer the questions that they have, or resolve the issues that they are calling about, and does it in a timely manner. I think there is the potential to, with the help of some of the newest technologies in generative AI, to tailor a company's responses with the help of maybe even a brand voice where applicable. There are certain companies that have a certain sort of tone or voice to their whole external persona. You can do that with the help of AI, fully agentless virtual agents, and potentially be able to answer these questions that we humans have in a very seamless manner. And if we can do that, then certainly I feel the customers will be ready. Over the years, for me personally, I have certainly appreciated that I can do certain things by interacting with the system online, which is much faster than trying to go through an agent. Sometimes making a reservation is just easier, faster for me to do it online, as opposed to calling somebody and waiting for them to answer. So some of those things are just better done. And I think more and more of that goes down that path as the AI technology advances. Christoph?
Yeah, cool. We're trying to bring in another point of view. So when Brooke said this is the outcome of the research work CCW has done, I'm wondering, or I'm assuming, when people express in let's say in a survey or something, their frustration about not reaching a live person, they are most probably very often referring to IVR systems and not necessarily to agentless contact centers. There are not a lot of agentless contact centers or fully agentless contact centers there at the moment. And then I totally get it. The purpose of IVR is typically to connect you to a human agent, such as, hey, press 1 if you need someone to talk about your invoice. If you press 1 and no one picks up and answers the phone, then it's understandably frustrating, I would say. Yeah, as said, I think there are not a lot of agentless contact centers out there yet. But on the other side, we also must truly admit that there is a gap between AI capabilities and the promise and customer expectations, and particularly when it comes to trust and comfort with AI, as Raj has already highlighted on the slides before, yeah, with these challenges that arise from LLMs and Gen AI. And yeah, can customers trust AI to provide accurate answers, or will it generate misleading content? In worst case, hallucinations. We have seen this happening to the biggest tech providers out there. So it's no one is here too big to fail, and there are these questions like, what happens to my data? Where is it processed? How are responses generated? Is personal data used to improve services for others? And if so, how transparent is the technology about it? Are data and privacy regulations met? I'm located in the heart of Europe. We have here the European AI Act that in theory blocks all use of Gen AI because it's so strict. Is the data generated unbiased? Is it meeting ethical standards? And also important, users really need to know what limitations they have to expect. So all these uncertainties together currently reduce the trust and comfort with AI.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, you bring up some great points, especially about trust, which leads me well into my next question. We at CCW have been talking a lot about chatbots and their potential to really revolutionize the customer experience when done right. But at the moment, we found that only 17% of customers say that they trust chatbots to resolve their issues. And I know, Raj, you mentioned a little bit about that before. But I wanted to ask you, Christoph, what are some of the challenges of the self-service experience today, and how can contact center leaders overcome some of these pain points?
Mm-hmm. Only 17% trust in them, so 83% of people distrust chatbots. Well, that's a big number. Let's start at the beginning. A true agentless experience relies on a combination of conversational AI, that is customer-facing, some sort of bot, and generative AI powering it in the background and providing advanced NLP capabilities. However, as you mentioned, many people obviously don't trust these bots, and I think this is driven by concerns about these inaccuracies, data privacy, the missing transparency, the lack of emotional intelligence. These factors together contribute to a reputation of chatbots as unreliable or impersonal nowadays. But moreover, I think, and this is not only related to Gen AI powered bots. This is valid for since bots exist. The main reason that this 83% of people distrust chatbots is that we can see so many poorly designed and built bots around that deliver simply a bad customer experience. I guess everyone can quickly name a bad chatbot, while naming one that is really amazing and outstanding, those ones are still pretty rare. And one reason for this is that the entry barrier for creating a bot is super low. Anyone can sign up for a chatbot building platform. You add a few training phrases, you push a button, and a few minutes later, there's a bot live on your website. However, delivering a great customer experience requires so much more. It involves a deep understanding of your clients, their needs, their preferred channels. You have to choose the right technology. You have to collaborate with experts in many domains, in language, in machine learning, in data science, and so on. And these are the fundamentals to create exceptional customer journeys. And finally, and most probably, the key differentiator to deliver outstanding agentless experiences and bots is continuous assurance and optimization. This is where the real difference is made from my point of view. Our clients who use Botium, for example, to do automated CX assurance testing usually report within the first weeks already a rapid improvement in their containment rates, in their customer satisfaction rates, and so on. So, in fact, I would say that the quality assurance and ongoing optimization are the key factors that divide great bots from random ones. As you asked for challenges, when we're discussing the challenges of agentless contact centers, then it's of course essential to consider a deep integration of LLMs and their Gen AI technologies. Those are the foundation for driving these human-like conversations, as we heard already before. As said, there is this huge risk of generating inaccurate answers or even responding to questions they shouldn't respond to. And this potentially leads to brand damage. And this is not typically people think here first about how to build a bomb question that a bot answers. This easy stuff is covered by guardrails. It's more the question like, you are brand A, and a user asks, are brands B and C better than brand A? Based on the data your agent is trained on, it might come back with, oh, buy the products of B and C because they are way much better value for the money. This is actually happening out there in production. We see this a lot, and even in early days, 2008, Microsoft launched a bot called Tai. I think it was a Twitter bot. And to give an idea, people asked this bot, should I buy a Microsoft Xbox or Sony PlayStation? And Microsoft's own bot came back with, oh, buy the PlayStation. It's the way much better product than the Xbox. So this is something that we want to desperately avoid. And this list goes on. There is this issue of generating inappropriate responses. Something like asking your car dealer's bot, I have unfortunately locked my key in the car. Give me a step-by-step description with pictures how to break into the car and get the key out without ruining anything. This is just reverse psychology, and the bot will tell you how to actually break into a car. These are things you desperately want to avoid, and the data privacy thing is then increasingly critical. As the whole world becomes more and more digitized, our data is everywhere, completely digital, and bots have access to it. And then finally, ensuring security, regulatory compliance, the creation of unbiased, ethically correct responses. All these are big challenges. And to overcome them, these contact centers leaders out there, they need to heavily invest into rigorous testing. This is the only way of gaining back control that they are losing. LLMs are a black box. Just imagine about talking to ChatGPT or something. ChatGPT is a chatbot. In the background, there's an LLM called GPT. If you send a question there, we don't know what's happening in the background. There's just an answer, and you have to take it for gospel. So we are losing all control. And at the same time, we are introducing a high level of uncertainty by these technologies. And this is what these leaders need to address. This is what we are doing with our AI Trust add-on in Botium to help these contact center leaders to overcome exactly those challenges. It was a long answer, sorry, but it was a very open question.
No, thank you so much, Christoph, for sharing, because I think everyone on this call is looking for some guidance and insight on what they have to be mindful of if they want to pursue this agentless experience and really move forward and continue to iterate and improve. So thank you for sharing. I appreciate it. I want to talk a little bit more about the AI-led agent technology, because it's also another pillar of success if we want to deliver really meaningful experiences. So Raj, what are some of the benefits of an AI-led agent, and how can they help organizations really exceed expectations?
Yeah, look, first of all, the AI-led agent is, I feel, a stepping stone to get to that agentless virtual agent, fully virtual agent experience. As far as how can it help organizations succeed? Well, in short, they can really help with efficiency. They can help with accuracy. They can help these AI-led agent technologies can help improve customer experience. Let me give you a very quick example that happened recently with me. We all have like these loyalty programs that we are part of, and I was making a reservation for a hotel through one of my favorite hotel chains. And whenever I would go to their website and log in, it will ask me, would say, confirm your email address. We're going to send you a code for you to log into. And this was happening every time I would log in. It doesn't matter that, this is on my personal laptop that I have confirmed that, hey, I'm not on a public computer, but it would send me a code via email. Did not give me an option to go via phone, my mobile device, or for that matter, remove that option now that it has verified me a few times. So I called the customer, the contact center there, and started speaking to an agent and said, look, this is what's going on. Is there a way for me to change it? And they researched a little bit and came back, well, you could do it through your mobile device. And I said, look, I don't see any option for mobile device. They searched some more and they came back and said, oh, you don't have your phone number with us. You only have your email. So that's why it's not giving you the chance to do that. I said, okay, well, I still don't want either my mobile device or email every time I have to log in. It should trust me. And as I'm searching, as they're telling me this answer on their website, under settings, I'm going and I see, well, there is a way to turn off two-factor authentication. It's buried a little bit deeper into the submenus, and the short of this being that the experience was certainly not in any shape or form great for me. Plus, if they were using some sort of AI-led agent technology, it is very easy these days, based on the conversation that is going on, for some sort of an AI engine to be able to parse through what is being spoken and present to the agent right away what might be the most meaningful, appropriate answer for that particular question at hand. So I feel that having AI-led agents with the help of AI technologies are really the stepping stone to getting to agentless, to getting to virtual agents. These technologies certainly help when done correctly, when done properly, when they're utilized in the right fashion. They can help with efficiency, they can help with accuracy, and they can help improve your customer experience. And as Christoph was mentioning earlier, look, we certainly have the tools that many of our customers are using to help provide that accuracy, efficiency, and correctness.
Yeah, I mean, I think a great example that you shared, and I do agree. I think that AI-led agent experience could definitely be that next step and really support that transition to the fully agentless experience. So I want to shift the conversation here. I know we talked about this a few times, but I wanted to get your perspective on this, Christoph. An agentless experience essentially means that we will be reliant on self-service. So how can leaders optimize self-service to the point that customers actually prefer an agentless experience? And is this even possible?
Starting with your second question, because it's a short one. Oh, yes, it is. And I've already seen AI-powered virtual agents out there that are so advanced that customers can't tell they are speaking to a robot or to a human agent. Yeah? So thanks to their abilities to create highly natural, highly human-like conversations, these bots, these virtual agents can easily be mistaken for a human agent. And we are reaching a point where I've seen lately bots doing things like we are doing. Yeah? When I'm phrasing here my answer, there is sometimes a and you feel that I'm thinking. Yeah, and actually those bots are doing this. This is really it's great as an engineer to see this. Coming back to your first question, what can you do to optimize this? So I would say to optimize the use in contact centers, leaders should actually keep several points in mind. One that is highly missed or underrated that I see a lot in our client space is also understanding the limitations. Yeah? So AI-based agents must be part of a broader system. They can't do everything just out of the box. They need to work efficiently, and they must be tailored to address the company's specific challenges and goals. That's an important one. The other one is prevent these hiccups and errors that we had already a few times now. And the answer is clearly rigorous testing. As Botium is my baby, I'm bringing up our AI trust capabilities again. They will help everyone out there who is going into this direction to prevent inaccurate responses, in worst case, these hallucinations, inappropriate use, reputation damage, and also regulatory issues. So testing is a huge thing. Then it's important to prioritize privacy and security. I often see this coming late in projects. It's like, oh, let's build everything functional up front, and then we think about data and privacy. This is a mistake because often it's pretty hard then to bring these considerations in. And the last point I would add here is I would also always think about some escalation strategies. I think Raj mentioned it somewhere at the beginning of our conversation by saying there are these 9/11 calls. Yeah? So there's in technology we call these critical lifetime situations, and in these situations, even if it is a fully agentless contact center, in these critical situations you simply don't want to speak to a robot. Yeah? And to give an idea again, it's the you're having a car accident, yeah, and your car immediately calls the SOS system and the support center of the car brand. This is a situation where you're maybe injured or your family or whatever. In this situation, you want to talk to a human being, and I think this is also a situation that would be very tough to cover in technology, because in this situation, people are in shock and they're often talking nonsense, so bots won't be able to cover this. So this would be those four would be my points for contact center leaders.
Yeah, those are really helpful. And I think it's also that point that you ended on there. The agentless experience is so exciting, but there are minor instances and cases that potentially we still need that human to intervene. So I think it's important to note that and be mindful as we move forward. So as we wrap up here, let's talk about the next steps, because this is so exciting and we want to make sure that we're on the right path moving forward. So where should leaders be, or what should leaders be prioritizing when it comes to the future of experiences, and what should be the end goal here?
If I may go first, Raj, then you can bring us home. Starting with the second part of the question again, what's the end goal? So I think the end goal for everyone building contact center experiences or overall customer experiences and journeys should be to create a seamless, efficient, and highly personalized customer experience that leverages AI and the self-service options that we have right now. But at the same time, I would keep also the option for a human interaction when really needed, as I mentioned the example before. This approach overall will aim to maximize customer satisfaction on one side, as well as on the other side, operational efficiency in this rapidly changing contact center landscape that we are all in. And coming to the first question, I think it was about prioritization. I can only emphasize again on the importance of rigorous CX assurance and optimization. These agentless contact centers will increasingly rely on new technologies like Gen AI, which, as I mentioned, also usually functions as a black box for us. And while this technology simply can greatly improve all the efficiency, reduce costs, I mentioned at some question before, it reminds me of the first bot I was building. I fear to say that we were working for 18 months or something to bring this bot into production. The same thing with Gen AI we could do now in a few weeks. So it is a great technology. but it comes with all these challenges, with this giving up of control and introducing uncertainty. To regain this control and ensure quality, thorough testing is essential. This would be my 5 points for it.
Yeah, let me expand on that a little bit and just give my flavor as well. The I look at it as being the end goal here that leaders should be looking at is what is the right mix of technology to provide the best customer experience, and it will be different based on different businesses, different markets, different industries. However, we do already have a lot of very interesting technology, very complementary technology available that can help to provide seamless experiences with the help of agents or almost without the help of agents. There's technology currently available that potentially can listen into a conversation and give guidance to the agent about how the customer is really feeling about the conversation that they are having. So not just the words they are speaking, like the laughter, is that sarcastic or is it actually that they are happy, right? There is AI technology that can tell the difference between that and can help give guidance to agents. So my recommendation is that people should look at this as there are probably two camps. There is what I call sort of the neophobia versus the neophilia. The neophobia is the camp where they're afraid of new technologies, and neophilia is where they are happy to embrace this new technology. And technology will continue to evolve, will continue to get better and more efficient. And my recommendation is to look at what technologies for your particular industry, your particular business can help your customers provide them with better customer experience. In the end, one of the challenges that happens is many times companies look at it from the perspective of where can they simply save money, and sometimes sometimes that focus of saving money or dollars or whatever currency you have leads to perhaps not necessarily thinking about the best customer experience by not implementing it properly or not using it properly. So it really is thinking about the right mix of technology for the best customer experience. And there is plenty available today that can be utilized to make your experience for your customers much better than what it is, much more seamless, much faster, and with the help of bots and AI agents. And I feel this will just continue to grow more and more and go at a much more faster pace than what we have seen previously, over the last past few years. So it's very exciting time that we are in.
Definitely. And I think that's a really great point to end on, Raj, because, we talked a lot about the agentless experience, and it's not just about enhancing efficiency. It's really meeting the needs of our customers throughout the journey and making it really seamless and intuitive for them, and keeping them at kind of the center of everything that we do. So whether that be in our technology decisions, how we iterate and improve, it's really all for the customer and to enhance their experience. So thank you both so much for joining. I so appreciate you sharing your insight with our audience. And yeah, this topic is so important. So it's so great to hear from two industry experts who really have such a pulse on the future of experiences. So thank you both so much.
It's been our pleasure. Thank you for having us. Thank you for allowing us to indulge in this conversation. A very exciting topic, and certainly very glad that we were able to share our thoughts here.
Thank you very much.